Let's move on with the movie news. One consistency amongst reviewers for The Dark Knight Rises has been the praise of Anne Hathaway's performance as Selina Kyle, which I have said in my review on Monday that she was actually really good at it. Now, asked by Digital Spy if she might reprise her role in the future, Hathaway said, "I think it would be lovely to see more of her, but only if it was with the right people. She lives in Gotham City, so I would have to establish by the people who made this Gotham City for me at least." So, which is basically saying is that yes, she would love to do Selina Kyle again, as long as it's done in the realism. Sorry, my voice is breaking now. It's done in the realism that it was with the Christopher Nolan movies. So, it'd be interesting to see Anne Hathaway as Catwoman in their own little spin-off. I think that'd be pretty cool. Of course, it'd be better than the other Catwoman spin-off that we got. As expected, The Dark Knight Rises. Let's just move on right through. As expected, The Dark Knight Rises debuted at #1 in North America this weekend. The studio, of course, refrained from reporting any official box office weekend results until late Monday, due to the shooting in Aurora. According to the Excalibur, you know what? According to a movie company that does box office results, the final film in director Christopher Nolan's Batman trilogy grossed over $160 million for the weekend, more than The Dark Knight's $158.4 million in 2008, and makes The Dark Knight Rises the largest 2D opening of all time. With the $88 million made overseas, the film's worldwide gross now is a beautiful total of $248.9 million. And IMAX announced that the film made $23.8 million from its 396 IMAX locations worldwide. The film industry's people, and fans alike speculated whether Dark Knight Rises could ever break the opening weekend record for this summer's other superhero movie blockbuster, The Avengers, which debuted with $207 million. The Dark Knight Rises, unlike The Avengers, was not in 3D, which has higher ticket prices. So what they're basically saying is, if The Avengers wasn't in 3D, maybe the numbers would be closer. Maybe. Let's talk some Captain America: Winter Soldier, huh? Yeah, let's do that. Former Community executive producer and frequent Community director Anthony Russo was talking about, of course, the Dark Knight. I got Dark Knight in the brain. The Captain America sequel, along with his brother Joe Russo. First, how the comedy duo was initially tapped to direct the upcoming comic book feature, as well as how Community was actually a launching pad for their recruitment. He said, this is Anthony Russo, by the way, it was sort of came out of the blue, but Marvel were big fans of Community. We can sort of draw the line between some things we did on Community and a Marvel movie. I think you look at some of the big genre episodes, the paintball episodes, which are really cool, by the way, etc. And the sun's coming in. There's a climatic sensibility being explored there that is the language of those episodes. At least the sun's helping me read my outline. Additionally, Russo noted that he and his brother's experience in television gave them a leg up in working in such an expansive franchise like The Avengers, saying Marvel is a big company and they've made a lot of movies. These narratives are connected to each other. And that's not typical for a feature film, but television people are used to that. There are seasons and seasons of shows, and the history is more important. Is very important to it. Obviously, my brother and I were comic book geeks at a very young age and big fantasy geeks. We got to talk to Marvel in detail about that. They knew that we understood the brand and their characters really well. We were just incredibly passionate about the movie then they felt that it was the right match. While Russo wasn't allowed to divulge in many details surrounding the Winter Soldier plot, although a lot of comic book nerds out there, like myself, probably know about the Winter Soldier plot, but did not describe some of the aspirations for the Steve Rogers character. But did describe some aspirations for the Steve Rogers character. We're trying to grow him as a character, Certainly, he's come a long way from where he started in World War II to where he is in the modern day America. So the character has room for some growth because of that huge journey he's been on. Number one, number two, the appeal. Been on number one. Number two, the appeal for these movies is the ensemble. Captain America isn't the only character in the film, and there's other characters that are perhaps lighter in nature. Excuse me. The Winter Soldier's subtitle comes from a storyline by Ed Burbank that his brothers responded to. He said, "I can say in general that there is sort of a darker, edgier sensibility at work that we found appealing, and that is going to find its way into Captain America in the modern day." Russo was asked if there might be some flashbacks in the 1940s, and responded by saying, "Certainly Cap has its complicated history. We're making the movie for the first-time viewers, not just fans. So because Cap does have this complicated history, he was like the skinnier guy who became a super soldier. He was born back. Then he's living now. In the storytelling, we need to convey that to an audience who doesn't know Cap's story." Speaking on the ensemble, some might say that there's appearance of other Avengers characters like Peggy Carter or S.H.I.E.L.D. members. To that, Russo remained tight-lipped, saying that's something Marvel would shoot me if I told you, he said jokingly, of course. Captain America the Winter Soldier begins production early next year with the release date of April 4th, 2014. So there you go. Can't wait for that one. I really can't, especially with the Winter Soldier plot that they've got going on.